Only looked once. The first time I heard tapping on my window, it was very faint and very slow. Slowly turning around in my bed, my eyes focused on the window, and I regret it now. If I just hadn't looked, so much could be different. The sight made the skin around my eyes stretch backwards and away further than I'd ever gone, my mouth widening to release the loudest scream, but no noise came out. My pupils growing thinner until they were mere dots, my neck pushing backwards to get away. We stared for minutes. I discounted it as a bad dream. The next day, just before midnight, I clearly heard steps outside my window, like a horse galloping. I shoved my head under the blanket and tried my hardest to still myself. The tapping began. It was louder and faster than last time. Minutes pass, and the tapping stops. When I wake up the next day, I walk around to my backyard. Beneath my window, there were large footprints, large enough to fit my palms spread out with a bit of space left. They were in front of my window, but nowhere else, as if they just came into existence. I called the cops. They arrived later that night and stood guard. The tapping never came that night. I fell asleep in peace, and a clutch of hope tells me things are going to be fine. Eventually, the cops leave. I wake up in the middle of the night. It's pitch black outside. I heard loud, disgruntled tapping on my window. The tapping is much more furious than before. I can hear the window shaking. I know something is staring at the little lump in the bed with sullen eyes. The large pit in my stomach told me so. I don't know why, but I feel like... Well, I don't know why, but I'm still... It feels comfortable, I guess. A delusion telling me it can't see me if I'm still enough. But I can't help but breathe. The breathing makes me rock slightly up and slightly down. The tapping stops eventually, and when I wake up, I feel like a wreck. I call the cops again, but this time, they're not nearly as recipient. Things can't go on like this, I think to myself, and head out. There's a forest beside my house. It's filled with close trees, lush leaves, green and orange bushes, and tall thick grass. I know the tapping comes from there. I know it for a fact. If I can find where the tapping comes from. I put on my thick green jacket, my heavy black boots, and snatch my camera. The tracks must have been hidden, but not perfectly. I see trampled plants, broken sticks, destroyed mushrooms. This would look common in any other scenario, but to me, right now, it's clues. I see a cave opening. It's a black door of air, rimmed with grey, pointy stone. I hear a distinct noise as I approach it. It sounds like an old man, with a high-pitched voice, heaving loudly. I've never heard anything like it. My guts feel sick. The sound is just wrong. I take a step into the cave. My legs disappears into the cold abyss, as if the darkness bit it off. A spark of energy shoots through me, through my body. Everything in me is begging me not to go in. I take a few steps. The darkness envelops me. I tread, feeling my way forward, and then my legs hit up against something, and I tumble down the cave until I hit up against the wall. The heaving turned into heavings. I could hear it all around. I grabbed my camera and took a shot towards the noise. The flash lit up the corridor. I caught my gasp. On the floor, layers of people with horns lay asleep, their feet covered in goat hair. I got a picture. I'm getting out. I permanently put on the light to not step on anyone. Figured shining some light is better than stepping on them. I slowly snuck my way out of the cave. As I was about to exit the cave, I saw a distracting light and accidentally stepped on a pebble. I heard the pebble fall down the cave and bump into something. The creature wakes up with a shriek, waking everyone else up. I sprint away. I'm sitting in my living room, covered by my blanket, and I'm shaking. I don't know what to do. They stopped tapping. They're banging. They're banging on my door. They're banging on every window. Some of them are screeching. Their banging grows louder and louder. Their screech is more horrible. I feel like they're going to shatter my windows any second now. My breathing too fast, hyperventilating. It goes out and in. I can't control myself. Just stop. Please stop. I'll remove pictures, I swear. I hear sirens in the distance. The banging stops. I hear them running towards the forest. Thank God I'm safe. My neighbors had called the cops. I fumbled out to explain what happened. I can barely describe the thoughts in my head when the officers grabbed me by my shoulders and told me to calm down. I show him the pictures on my phone. He looks at them curiously before dismissing them as fake. They drive away. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know what they want from me. I'm sitting on my chair, staring at my window. I don't care anymore. I'll look them in the eyes, recognize them. I can't live the rest of my life in fear. I cannot and will not. The clocks tick. Each second draws us nearer to midnight. I feel myself want to get into bed and cover my head, but no, I won't do it this time. I'm going to look. Even if it's the end of me, I will look. I blink, and they're all standing there. 5 large, tall, hollowed-out faces staring right at me. We make eye contact, but I hold my ground. They're angry. They're showing their teeth. They bring their large, rotten hands up to the window. Nails that have grown for ages are on them. They bang, and for 3 minutes they're banging on my window. A sprick appears on the window like lightning, then another one, and then the window shatters. They reach for me with their long hands and grab me, pulling me out. I scream and jerk and kick, but it doesn't matter. I'm one of them now. I don't know what they did exactly, but I've changed. I'm no longer human. I no longer have 5 fingers. I feel my consciousness, my humanity fading away. I'm typing this up on my phone whilst I still can. I have a warning for all of you. If you hear tapping on your window, don't look.